Thank you very much. All right, I'd like to call the 2025 Annual Wildwood Springs Meeting to order. Appreciate everybody coming. Good crowd.
Oh my gosh. So you hardly see anything. You can see now. It's gonna be shown. And yeah. There are people all signing in. Why can they just never get this freaking right?
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I want to hear them. They're all muted. Really, we did all this for nothing. Are you freaking kidding me?
This is why I knew that. I don't know.
Can anybody hear anything? I can't hear.
No, it's not.
I can't hear anything.
No, I can't hear either, and I don't have any way to contact anybody. I talked to Mary in the office, but she doesn't know what's going on.
They are working on it.
Okay.
Thank you.
How did you just hear that then? Can you hear it now?
Yes.
That was good. uh, I think all of us know and have put forth our deepest sympathies. John lost Helen at the end of last year, but he has really kept steady on, didn't miss a beat, and helping run this community. So we appreciate that, John. Just recently, we lost Chris Perry unexpectedly, our IT committee chair. We will miss him terribly because right now we've got a sort of a joint IT committee. A bunch of people got together and have really come together to carry on his work. Because he had a lot of secrets and passwords, and we had to figure out how to do this and how to do that. But he will be missed. We're sorry for him. We started last year, 2024, with a pretty good insurance increase, as we all know, because we had to pay some higher dues for the first 2 quarters, but then we were able to drop it down for the third and fourth quarter by $100. And we are able to keep that down throughout this year. So, and as most of you know, there's associations around us are paying $2,500 a quarter, and you know what you pay. So be happy for yourself. Barbara and I have continued investing the reserve money and even some of the operating funds for a while until we had to cash the operating funds back in to write a check that I just signed for $842,000. But that's a lot better than the $902,000 check last year. So, and yeah, thank you. You give your applause to our new insurance gentleman right here, Anthony Delatorre. He'll be speaking in a little while. But anyways, we made about $75,000. On the Zoom, people, can you hear us now? Raise your hand.
Yes. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. We made about $75,000 on our CDs last year. So that's money we put in the bank. It's free money for us. That was a really good thing. The homeless situation, really very little this last year. After the hurricanes, we found a couple little camps up behind the shopping center where the fence had been knocked down by the trees, and they got in there, but the code enforcement actually came to us and said they were going to go in there, and we went up with them. We took our guys up. We helped them clear these camps out. The guys put the fences back up, and code enforcement hauled all their stuff away. And when we were just finishing up with the fence, here came a guy walking up the alleyway. Where's my stuff? I said, your weed and all your stuff went with code enforcement. He was not happy. But it's really, we've had very little in the repair. Let's see. I've got a bunch of reminders to just go over really quickly. It's, it's one time a year that most people in the community are either here or on Zoom or they'll watch this later. And it's just little rules that, we may tend to forget about. One was recycling, when you take your recycling up there, if you take it in a bag or a grocery bag or whatever, empty the bag. You don't put the plastic bag in the bin. Cardboard boxes all need to be broken down. What I do is I take mine all up in a cardboard box, I dump it in there, and then I break the box and put the box in there. If it gets, when they take it in, if there's too much stuff in there that's not supposed to be in there, they just dump the stuff in the dump. So it doesn't get recycled. And I got to commend everybody in our community. Our recycling is phenomenal. We fill that thing twice a week, and that's really good. Electric bikes. A lot of people getting them. Just a reminder, yes, you can store them in your unit, but if you're charging that bike, needs to be outside, either in your front courtyard or your back courtyard. You do not charge the bike inside. There are, documented explosions, and that's not pretty. If you're going away for any length of time, a month, 3 months, 6 months, have somebody watch your unit. We just had one that nobody had been watching for 6 months, and oh my God, the rats just trashed it. Your water is off. It evaporates out of your traps, and the rats just come right up in. And I mean, it was ugly. And it cost them, I'm sure, several $1,000s to, it costs a whole lot less. We have two of our maintenance guys who are very good at it. They know what they're doing. They send pictures. They do a fantastic job. Or just somebody else, but make sure it's not somebody who's, a 90-year-old neighbor who's going to walk in and, oh yeah, it looks good. Okay, bye. And meanwhile, mold is growing. It can end up costing you a whole, so beware of that. Recycling, electric bikes. We have a lot of owners that have been purchasing generators, and it's just getting to be a much bigger thing. The building committee is working on a set of rules. I met with the fire marshal and also called and talked to somebody from Florida Power, got a lot of information, recommendations on how to use it. And we're tying it in with some of our rules that are already in the bylaws, which would be you can't use a gas grill within 10 foot of a building. So this is a gas appliance. It's going to have the same 10-foot rule, even though the fire department recommends 20 feet minimum. Because our laws are what they are, we can't tell you you have to be 20 feet. I run mine, it's 20 feet because my back courtyard's just about 25 feet deep. But so there'll be a set of rules coming out. Those that we know have generators, we're going to give them a copy. We'll also have it on the website, and hopefully everybody uses them safely. Fire marshal told me there's just over 100 people a year die from carbon monoxide from generators. A real easy example is I was spray painting a lawn chair out back, and I was 15 feet from the windows. My wife came out and she said, "Oh my God, I'm overwhelmed with the spray paint smell and in the bedroom." So carbon monoxide kills, and you don't smell it. So beware. All right. Walking. When you're walking on the boulevard, walk towards traffic. If it's at nighttime, wear some bright clothes. I can't tell you how many times I come in and somebody's walking down the road on my side, so I'm looking at their back and they got black clothes. walk towards traffic. And if you see a car coming, step off. I mean, most people who are driving in, they see you, they swerve way out in the other lane, and that's good. But and a lot of people will stop, especially if a car is coming the other way as well. They'll just stop and wait until the other car goes by and then go out around you. But courtesy says just be careful. Better to be safe than sorry. Speaking of walking your dogs, please clean up after your dog. You know, just bad when people don't. And if we catch you, if somebody catches it on a Ring camera or video camera, you can be fined $100. So next, afterwards. Okay, what do you got? Only two animals. We're working with one right now that has three that she's going to get a letter. Two's the limit. And that's something we're also looking into on the board, going back in these emotional support dogs. There's different laws in Florida that we're having our lawyers look into. That we've read one that says you have to have that recertified every year. Some people have had them, in here. We don't even know who has the certification or not. It's probably in their file, but we're probably going to ask everybody to recertify or come to the office, show us your certifications. So that's in the works. Okay, we hired a nice young man here about a month ago, maybe a little more. He's working on the front courtyard fences. After the hurricane, we couldn't work on them because we couldn't get materials. But finally, about a month or so ago, we finally got the stuff that we ordered for the fences. And Sherwood's done, Pinehurst is done, Springdale's done. I believe One Oak is done. Half a palm tree. So he is coming. If you're in the back, he'll be there. He's moving pretty quick now that he's got it down. We had two new secretaries last year that everybody knows about. One of them had to leave us, but we've hired another one. So Mary is still with us, and now we have Robin. They're both doing a really great job for John. So those are our two ladies. Every 4 years, we have issues with flags, unfortunately. Flags. People feel the need to show their political affiliation. That offends some other people, so we had to ask those to go down. And then they, being completely correct, I'll tell them, our bylaws say that the only flag that can be flown is the American flag and certain military flags on certain military holidays. So if we have to enforce it, everybody has to go by the rules. So there are no flags up, no Kansas City Chiefs, no Ohio State. Even your little garden flags that's poking the ground, they need to be behind your front courtyard fence, not visible from the parking lot. So when people come to visit you, when they get inside of your gate, they can see your nice little welcome to spring, St. Patty's Day, whatever you have, but it has to be behind your fence, not to be seen from the parking lot. As everybody knows, the hurricane season delivered us a couple real big blows. Helene and Milton left us with a big a big mess. Our guys did a great job cleaning up. We spent thank you. And we had a lot of residents that were out helping as well, especially the very next day when I think we had, when did we have? Just Eddie. Eddie was the only one that came in that very next morning. Eddie was cutting and we had a bunch of residents out there moving the stuff. So, and a lot of people helped clean up their clusters, which is great. So we all did a good job on that.
Sorry, can I ask a question? Hello, can you hear
We
me?
were very fortunate. The governor declared a state of emergency, which allowed FEMA to come in. And they took probably 30 plus loads out, which would have cost us $600 a load. So that helped. We were cheering that guy on. I was giving him bottled water. I said, when you're done, let me know. I'll give you a beer. After the hurricane, we had our adjuster insurance guy came out. John and I took him around every single cluster. He looked at gutters, fences, all this. And then when we got a report back from them, it was like, nothing is covered. You don't meet your deductible. I was totally appalled when he said, I said, what about the fences on the tennis courts? Oh, they're not covered. I said, what do you mean? He says, the tennis courts are covered. I said, you're covering the concrete, but you're not going to cover the fence. That makes no sense to me. But anyways, that's been taken care of by our, yeah. That's about the time I decided that we needed a new insurance man. So a couple of the board members and myself and John interviewed our new guy here, Anthony, and he'll be coming on after the reports. That's about what I said. That's all I got.
Do you take
I think
questions?
this board and John and everybody deserves a nice big round of applause. And thank you very much for coming. All right, next up, officer reports. Go ahead.
Yeah, so you can get it, we can get a copy from the county if you need it.
If you go online, it'll tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the individual dumpsters that private families hold, there's always a list on it, pasted on it, so it's available.
Yeah, if you just go to the recycling online, I mean, it'll tell you what goes in the recycling bins. Or we can get you a copy, Steve. No problem. For you, we'll do that. Officers reports. Mara, have you got anything?
No, just keep going the way we're going.
I just want to commend all our employees, especially John and the other board members and our owners. Thank you for being you.
Barbara.
There is a link, by the way, in the newsletter to what you can recycle. Is this on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, up close.
Okay. So overall, we ended the year on a very positive note. Our operating funds came in under $531,000, which was great. And that's primarily due to two things. One was we received $133,000 signing bonus from Spectrum for renegotiating our cable contract, and our expenses came in $398,000 lower due to the lower than anticipated insurance bill last March. So those were both positive things. Reserve funds, we spent $303,000 during 2024, primarily for emergency storm repairs, painting, building roof and pool repairs, all the typical stuff. Plus we replaced our tractor at a good cost, and we put a deposit down on our sports court renovation that will happen in 2025. For investments during the year, the association earned over $86,000 in interest altogether. Between our bank accounts and our CDs. 77,000 of that came from investing in federally insured brokered certificates of deposit with Edward Jones Investments. At year end, the association had $1,860,000 invested in CDs. Most of that is reserve funds with a little bit of operating, which Steve mentioned, and we invest that with Edward Jones. Monthly detailed reports are all on file at the office. I'm not sure they're all on the website, but we can look at that. These CDs during 2024 earned between 4.6% to 5.5% interest rates. So we got some great interest rates during 2025. So far for 2024. So far for 2025, we're just under 5%-ish, but that will still get us some good money. So we'll continue to invest in these brokered CDs where we can to maximize our interest earnings to help offset association costs. And during 2025, we expect to earn at least $80,000 in interest. So we'll keep the fund going. Thank you. Any questions? Okay. Thank you.
Very good. All right. Next item is committee reports. Well, let me.
Pool committee. For the last several years, the pool committee has met at one of the pools each month. We receive a staff report from Jack, and he explains the repairs completed during the past month. The committee inspects the pool that we're meeting at, pointing out potential hazards or repairs such as loose pavers, rust on equipment, or broken chairs. Excuse me. Our manager keeps us informed of our financial status, and committee members and owners discuss ways and ideas to improve the residents' pool and spa experience. This past year, 5 chairs and 7 lounge chairs were restrapped. 6 loungers were sent out for complete repairs, and one of the umbrella stands replaced. With the saps and the pollens from the trees, our furniture gets pressure washed as needed. Most of our discussion this past year was over post-hurricane repairs. Due to the debris in the pools, loose pavers, broken fences, pool 2's sidewalk had washed away, possible electrical issues, and some of the pools stayed closed a bit longer than we would have liked. The pool committee works closely with security, especially during holidays and breaks from the schools, to prevent kids from climbing over the fences into the pools at night. Also, security works to enforce the need for residents to follow the pool rules, such as bringing pool badges with them every time they come to the pool. No matter how many times you come to the pool, you still need to bring it with you. Lastly, our committee has discussed ways to increase security, such as key fobs at the gates. However, there would be extensive electrical work involved, Wi-Fi would be needed, and material costs would overwhelm our budget. We discussed sling lounge chairs for a more spa-like appearance. However, the replacement cost of all the loungers involved was high, and the lack of durability in the heat of the summer nixed that idea. I mean, we're talking slouching. Our committee works to ensure that each resident and their guests enjoy their pool safely. Our next pool committee meeting will be April 1st at Pool 7. Thank you.
Thank you, Tammy. I'll do the buildings committee next. I'll make that quick for you. Right now, the building committees, we're working on getting estimates for repainting of the buildings and the railings. So that's just, we just started working on that. As I said earlier, we're working on our generator usage and safety guidelines and fire department recommendations. That should be out. Now, Tiffany has really done a very good job at helping me with that, and I appreciate that. Yeah. Let's see. Second floor entryways, we're still working on it. We have finally got the guy who did the original ones that messed up with the tar. He's started to come back and work on those. And the scuppers to get the water out are lower than the level now, or no, higher than the level. So we're working on that. The fences I already mentioned, we're working on those. Materials. And, that's really about it. Our next meeting is going to be next Wednesday, Monday, 17th. Yeah. Yeah, Monday the 17th. So. Yeah, right. All right, that's all I got from the building committee. Let's see, who's next? The IT committee. I don't know if we have somebody here who wants to give a little report. Right now, as I said earlier, we're working with sort of a joint bunch of people, 3 to 4 that are sort of working together. You want to report anything, Dan? Microphone.
We kind of have an organizational meeting. Testing. We're going to have an organizational meeting here and try to appoint someone as a chairman to basically keep everything running smooth. Our meeting's scheduled for Thursday, February 27th at 1 o'clock. I'm sorry, let me go into March here. Yeah, let's see, we have it scheduled for the 27th of March. It's a Thursday at 10 a.m. We have some people coming for that meeting. If anybody has IT experience, would like to be on the committee, we could use some help in there. We've got 4 or 5 people that are going to be on the committee, it looks like. So any help would be appreciated.
Grounds committee. Pete. Up to the mic.
Got to turn it on, Tom.
Hello? Okay. All right, this past report for 2024 would be, the catchphrase would be hurricane. So, and due to the outstanding work of our small crew as usual, Brown's Tree and FEMA, we were able to get everything back in order in a timely fashion. Like was mentioned before, we had thanks to Tiffany, the committee decided to reset banions and take a shot with them. So far, we've had a good response with most of them. Some of them are a little slow, and at least 2 of them have to be removed because of proximity to buildings. And throughout the area where a big tree went down, you'll see it's all like really fine mulch. That's from cutting the tree down. All those areas will be eventually resodded. And because of the drought recently, we had yellow spots, but now we've had a little bit of rain. And I think overall, the place looks pretty good as what it's been through. And what else? We also replaced some trees as needed. And I'd just like to thank the crew again for the job they've done. The amount of guys we have and for the scope of the place, they do a hell of a job, okay?
Thank you, Pete. Okay, Barbara, do you have anything to add in the newsletter?
I always have to talk newsletter at every meeting. Excuse me. Okay, the newsletter committee currently publishes 2 issues a year. Excuse me, at no cost to the Wildwood Springs unit owners. This year completed 4 years. The newsletter has been resurrected. For the issues published in 2024, we do 2 a year. We continue to receive very positive feedback, so we'll just keep going. The newsletter is full of helpful seasonal information and tips, some of which Steve has mentioned in his report that are very helpful to owners, and we wish owners would heed. It's also updates owners on the various committees managing association business. So if you don't get to attend or listen into committee meetings, each of the chairs for the major committees do recaps in the newsletters in the spring and fall. So it's very helpful information, keep you informed, as well as a lot more content such as puzzles and recipes and stuff. Since the newsletter has no budget, all funding comes from advertising. So during 2024, we received 38 ads between the 2 issues, raising $1,050 that paid for the ink and paper. So in case you missed any issues, they're all on the website. And if you're computer challenged, you can get a paper copy of the latest issue in the office. So please help keep the newsletter going by volunteering, whether it's just shooting me suggestions for articles of interest or help in obtaining advertising. We welcome all the help. Send any questions or suggestions if you don't want to reach out to me directly to wwsnewsletter@yahoo.com. Dates for the 2025 spring summer issue are drafted, and I'll be meeting with John later this afternoon or tomorrow to firm them up, and we'll have our kickoff meeting next Wednesday. So we hope to see you there or call in or attend. So appreciate your help. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Barbara. Okay, next, we need security meeting. Jim Munson, are you with us?
Right here.
Jim, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Jim, are you there? Are you ready
I
to
am
give your
here.
security report?
I can hear him. I think you guys have him on mute or something.
Did you mute him?
Jim, can you unmute yourself?
I did. I'm unmuted.
Jim, unmute yourself.
Yeah, John.
Can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, I'm on.
Well, we can't hear you here.
I can barely hear you.
Well, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm on a frickin' phone, for Christ's sakes. I can't hear you on Zoom.
I haven't said it.
I can hear you on phone, John.
He says he's unmuted himself.
Tell him to talk.
All right. We can't
I know
hear
you
at all,
folks that
Jim.
are on the side can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what they're doing.
See Karen waving again. Karen, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
We have a cookie.
I don't know what they're doing. Dale, you could hear me? Angela, you could hear me? Right? Mr. Reich, you could hear me?
Jim, are you hearing us now?
I hear you.
I think he can hear us. I don't think,
hear us, we can't hear him.
well, then there's something on his end because Karen can hear us.
Can the rest of you people hear us?
Yes.
Yeah, they're shaking their heads, so. All right, Jim, I think you'll just have to put yours in writing and we'll put it in the minutes and unless you can get in later. All right, let's move on. Okay, well, I'm not sure what's wrong, but we got to move on. Committee reports, unfinished business.
We have no unfinished business to consider at this time.
Okay, new business.
There's no new business to be brought up at this time either.
Okay, next item. I'd like to turn the floor over to our new insurance man, Anthony Delatorre.
Thank you. Everyone hear me okay? All right. Again, Anthony Delatorre with PCS Insurance Group. And just like to say, I mean, you guys do everything right. Like you have the pool committee meetings, you meet at every pool each month, you identify if there's any hazards. Like from an insurance perspective, you're proactive. And I think that's what you can say for your association. Actually been calling on John since like, I think 2014. Every year I would call him and here we are, 2025. And, but I would tell you that without John's support and the board support, the association's insurance probably would not be going down this year. But not only would it not be going down, it also would not be structured properly. When the association selects an insurance agent, they're selecting an expert. It's not like deciding on a landscaping contract, a roofing contract. You select someone that is, proactive, that has a service model. And today I'm going to kind of talk about the master association policy, who's responsible for what, and then also the unit owner policy too. Because, a lot of times people think that the association is supposed to take care of everything, but state statute dictates who's responsible for what. So just to kind of recap the recent insurance renewal, not only, due to the commitment by the board and to John, we were able to actually deliver a reduction, right? So the total insurance premium for all policies at the renewal was just over $842,000. Last year, I believe it was just over $900,000. But that's just part of the story. The thing is state statute 718 says, hey, every 36 months, every 3 years, as a condo association, you are required to get a new appraisal, new insurance appraisal. So actually in 2025, it was your turn to get a new appraisal. So last year, the property policy was based off the insurance, the insurable value of the association. When I say insurable value of the association, I'm saying what the association is responsible for due to a hazard event, hurricane, fire, tree falling on the roof, right? And that's all dictated by state statute. The insurable value last year was $93 million, right? For the renewal that just happened, the insurable value was over 105 million. So what that means is that you guys had to buy about $13 million more insurance, about 14% more insurance, but your premium went down. So that's a huge victory. And it's a great story to tell. Not only did your premium go down, but your deductible also got better. You still have a 5% hurricane deductible, right? But anything other than a hurricane, right? Last year, your deductible for a tropical storm, a fire was $25,000. This year, it's $5,000, right? So that's huge. And so the association buys that property. The property policy also buys a general liability, premises liability, someone slips and falls. You have 7 pools. You have the tennis courts. If someone gets injured on those, that policy is going to provide coverage. You have $1 million there. You have an umbrella policy that goes over that, which means you have $6 million. we were able to actually also increase the crime policy from 3 million to 5 million to protect the association's funds. And again, this is all, part of the state statute. Your crime limit needs to be equal to or greater than whatever's in your operating and reserve account at any given time. So we increased that. Then you have the umbrella, which goes over your directors and officers insurance. And again, all this stuff is all dictated. You have to purchase it. It's not like you can be like, oh, I don't want that coverage. Well, in the state of Florida, that's not how it works, right? You have to buy these policies. So I wanted to kind of, talk about that from a master association perspective, but really what I wanted to kind of do is kind of provide little educational documents, because our agency, all we do is condo associations. We have 19 employees. I do the master association policy, but we also, and again, this is just a resource for you as a unit owner. We have individuals in our office that they do the paint, the flooring, the kitchen cabinets. So on the left-hand side of the folder is just information about our company. But really what I wanted to turn it to is kind of Steve was mentioning this, right? The unit that wasn't checked, right? That had, mold forming and stuff. So, obviously in 2020, we insure a lot of associations that have a lot of Canadian residents. And essentially, this checklist right here is a unit owner seasonal checklist. So if you're going back up to Maryland, New Jersey, Indiana here in the next 3-4 months, I would recommend you to take a look at this. And Steve's exactly right. You need to have someone come into your unit, right? And this is from an insurance perspective, right? These insurance companies are going to look for any reason to deny your claim. So if I'm going back up north, I would take a video of what my unit looks like, right before I leave. And also, in addition to that, have a journal. So I have someone come into my unit every 2 weeks to make sure there's not any existing water damage or anything like that, because insurance is designed to provide coverage for something that's sudden or accidental, not if you leave your unit unattended for 6 months and there's a bunch of mold forming, right? That's not what insurance is designed to do. So I think this document's a very helpful document for all seasonal residents to use as a checklist prior to going back to their summer home. The other thing I wanted to just briefly talk about is, what the association policy covers versus what the unit owner policy covers. According to state statute 718, right, the association policy that just renewed is going to provide coverage for the exterior of the building, the roof, the walls, all the way up to the unfinished sheetrock, right, from a hazard event. You as a unit owner are responsible for the paint, the flooring, the kitchen cabinets. And the thing is it doesn't matter whose fault it is, right? Like, for example, if you have a unit, right, and you're sharing a wall with your neighbor, and I have a unit and I have a fire that starts in my kitchen due to the microwave, and then goes into his unit, impacts the interior of his unit. If you do not have coverage or an HO6 or a unit owner policy for your flooring, your cabinets, essentially the association policy is only going to provide coverage all the way for the exterior of the building and then up to the unfinished sheetrock. So if you don't have a policy because you don't have to have it, and you don't have to have it here in the state of Florida unless you have a mortgage, right? So, as an association, you share walls, things like that obviously can happen. So it's definitely very important to point out that, the HO6 policy provides, again, coverage for everything in the interior of the unit, flooring, cabinets, doesn't matter whose fault it is. And the thing is that, you guys were built in the late 70s, right? So there's a lot of these carriers that write these unit owner policies that limit water damage, right? A pipe breaking, causing water damage. You might only have $10,000 on your personal policy. And the thing is we have people, all they do is HO6 policies. And the most competitive carrier for Wildwood was, I have a sample quote here, is Universal Property. And you guys have big units. In this example, the dwelling, when I say dwelling, that's coverage A, that's the flooring, the cabinets. The dwelling on this was $130,000. Contents, you shake your unit, it's your furniture, whatever falls out, that's your personal contents. On this example, it's 20,000. Loss of use, this is something that's extremely important, right? In the event that you're displaced because my unit caused a fire and he now has to go get a hotel, right? Well, this policy provides coverage for you to go get a hotel. In this example, it's $8,000 in loss of use coverage. And then you also have liability, personal liability. Someone comes in your unit, slips and falls. So the thing is that the universal policy, right, for this limit of coverage was under $1,000, about $927. The next closest carrier, we did a complete market summary of every carrier that writes unit owner policies, and they were well above 1,500. So, and again, that's all based off of the limit of coverage of the dwelling being $130,000. So there's one thing to point out too is that, you know, you want to make sure on your contents that you have replacement cost, right? Not actual cash value. Because the thing is if I have this, you know, this chair that I buy today and I have a fire 3 years from now, well, if you have actual cash value, they're going to depreciate the chair. So I would recommend making sure that you do have replacement costs on your contents. And then in addition to that, if there's anything that you take away from this conversation about insurance is what is your water damage limit of liability, right? Universal has unlimited water damage. In this example, the dwelling is 130. That means if there's a water damage scenario, this unit is going to have up to $130,000 worth of coverage. There's a lot of carriers like Florida Penn that limit water damage to $10,000. So it's just something, again, we only look at our insurance policy when we get the bill and then when there's an event. So I would recommend that you do look at that limit of coverage. And then, yeah, I mean, that's really what I wanted to kind of talk about, you know, today too. And it's kind of hard to believe that hurricane season is around the corner. June 1st is the start of hurricane season. So if you don't have a personal policy now, or if you want to have someone take a look at it, please don't hesitate to call our office. Again, we have a team that's all they do is HO6 policies, and make sure that regardless if you're calling, you know, your current agent, that they're applying that mitigation report that you guys have, because that can make a huge difference on your personal HO6 policy. So did I cover everything?
Nope.
Only one thing I was thinking, you talked about the loss.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So this is something that's extremely important. Not only does this policy provide coverage like the enhancements that I was talking about going in to get a hotel, but state statute 718, I referenced that a lot, states that if you're with an admitted carrier on your HO6, admitted means they're backed by the Florida Insurance Guaranteed Association. Universal is one of them. State law says, because right now you guys have a 5% hurricane deductible. In the event, right, that we have another, you know, storm and everything's under the deductible. The carports are damaged. It's all under the deductible. Like that's the thing that kind of point out, right? So for example, 101 to 120 Pinehurst, the insurable value of that cluster or that one building is 3.7 million, right? To break it down, 5% of that is 185. Okay. So for that one building, the deductible is 185 due to a hurricane. So essentially, this loss assessment coverage is designed for associations here in the state of Florida to help offset that big deductible. So essentially, in your unit owner policy, if you're with an admitted carrier, you have up to $2,000, right? If you're with Universal, you have $2,000. You do have a deductible of $250, but if the association did have to levy an assessment due to, and I hate to use the term, I saw some eyes move, assessment, but this is designed to make the association whole and help offset that huge deductible that the association has. A lot of associations aren't well run like yours, where you have the money to pay out of pocket. A lot of these associations here in this area had to assess their unit owners due to their deductible being 5%. But that's the thing is the loss assessment coverage allows you to help pay towards that assessment of, say if it's $2,000, you would have, instead of writing a check out of pocket, you would get a check from Universal and then you would turn that into the board, into John. And that's the thing is, you guys have 558 units. The way I look at it is about, you got $1.1 million that you can utilize to help offset that 5% hurricane deductible. So it's just something to think about. If you don't have a policy now, this would be another reason potentially to buy this HO6 unit owner paint in policy.
Very good. Go ahead.
Right? Yeah, so I always get this question, air conditioning units, right? Oh, sure. The question was on the states, on this hazard checklist that is dictated by state statute 718, says the air conditioning units are the responsibility of the association, right? That is only due to an insurable event. If the air conditioning unit is 20 years old and you need a new AC filter, right? Or you need a new air conditioning unit as a whole, that's maintenance, and that's always on the unit owner. Now, if it's damage due to an insurable event, that is on the association policy, but you're subject to that deductible, right? That's the big caveat. You know, the deductible, right, of 5%, say if that, yeah. Blows up. So that's more of a, I would think that AC compressor blowing up
Is maintenance.
is maintenance. That's all maintenance. That's on the unit owner. Blows up. Yeah, it's old. And yes, what caused that? Yeah, to keep it very simple, if that AC unit if it's found out that that AC unit was damaged due to an insurable event, what caused that damage, right? The association policy is going to provide coverage. And again, this is not for Wildwood, this is for every condo association here in Florida. But you got to prove that it was damaged due to an insurable event, right? So. Yeah, so in that, let's just keep it very simple, right? If a tropical storm comes, right, and the air conditioning unit is damaged due to trees, right? Trees falling on it, right? In that scenario, the association's deductible will be $5,000, right? And then anything above and beyond that, you know, the insurance policy is going to provide coverage for.
So acts of God are covered by our own personal property insurance. Lightning.
Strikes what though? No. So the air condition is if it's an act of God, and again, act of God, sudden, accidental, the association policy, right, is going to provide coverage for the air conditioning unit. Your HO6 does not provide coverage at all for the AC unit, the doors, the windows, right? That's all going to be on the, you know, the association policy. Again, but it's subject to your deductible. Most of the time, these things come up during a hurricane when your deductible is 5% of the value of the building. And then that's where it goes back to the association documents. If you don't have any insurance proceeds to pay for that, that's when it falls under, you know, the unit owner. So that's where there is a lot of gray area.
Very good. Thank you.
Anything
Steve,
else?
Yes. Are we required to have internal property insurance by the state of Florida?
So no. So the question was, are you required to have a personal unit owner policy for the paint, the flooring, the cabinets? That answer is no. The only reason to have that is if a mortgage company requires it, but also you're sharing walls, things happen.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Mhm.
Okay. Anything else? Very good. All right.
Do you have a question, sir?
Come on up, Bob. Got a microphone up here.
Based off of, for what? Well, so the master association policy, right? I don't know if this is going to answer your question, but there's an appraisal that's done, right? And so, is that what you're asking? No. Yeah, unit owner HO6, homeowners policy, Form 6, the unit owner policy, that's the condo unit policy. That's exactly what you should be buying as a resident of Wildwood. Well, that doesn't, so you have a master association policy, right? That you get an appraisal done every 3 years, and one was just done. And essentially the appraisal has different values for the different buildings, right? If it's a 6-unit building, you have a different value. If it's an 8-unit building, it's a different value. Sure.
Okay. Anybody else? I think we're good. Thank you. I think appreciate it. I have something for you. Oh, there you go.
That was a heavy check.
Guys. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
guys.
Yep.
Thank you. Excellent. Hey, man. See you guys.
Okay.
I'd be happy picking up a $842,000 check too.
Yeah, that hurt my hand to write that. Okay, well, anyways, I hope that was helpful to you. I was really impressed with the fact that you have assessment insurance. That to me was really cool, because if we have to assess, and we assess, for whatever reason, and you have that policy, if the assessment's $1,000, you pay $250, $750 is paid by your homeowner's insurance. So I put that in plain terms for you, because I didn't know if he made that quite clear enough. If you got that's a good thing, good reason to have insurance, in my opinion. Okay, I think that's about it. Do anybody here want to say anything for the annual meeting before we adjourn? Come on up. Mike.
Yeah.
As long as we're talking about insurance and stuff, we change clocks, we change batteries and our smoke detectors.
Good idea.
Thank you.
Does anybody on Zoom have any comments? Raise
I
your hand.
do. Can you hear me?
Comments should,
Yeah.
could have more comments. at the end,
I have a general question.
They can't hear,
What, if
they can't
anything,
hear
is
us.
being done to address the idea of electric vehicle charging?
Yeah, we made arrangements. Every time somebody has gotten one, we've put a little track in the sidewalk so they can keep their cable under the sidewalk and run the cable out to charge them. Everybody who's got them has been satisfied, I think. So if you plan on getting one, that's what we'll do for you. Bob, you got something?
Can you hear me on this?
I think they're gonna be able to hear you.
I can hear you.
Oh, do you
But
know
they
about
can't,
this?
Right.
they
Oh.
can't,
That's why we did it that way.
they can't hear anything that
Okay,
goes
there's
down.
comments.
That
This
was
is your time. Come
Working
on.
the Zoom over there
Tom.
at their end.
I
Oh,
appreciate you helping, Tom.
thank you.
You're welcome.
We have a tree that's leaning toward the pond in back of our property. We were
What do you
wondering
want me
when
to do, Jim?
that was gonna be either taken down or.
What do you want me to do? I don't know what you want me to do,
That's
Jim.
Lakeside
You're right.
Right.
Not touch it.
You're right.
Well, I'll check it.
Okay. Thank you.
If it seems like it's dangerous, we can,
The other thing, I've sat in my living room watching TV and dogs bigger than whatever go by. Dogs leave their droppings and the owners do not pick it up. I think it's because we're actually the backside of the house on the pond
Oh, I
side. so
hear
that
them.
Nobody can see it.
well, I would keep an eye on that. And you have a thing called a cell phone that has a camera. We would love to find
Oh.
them. Or I can come pick it up and I'll leave it on their doorstep.
Here we go.
And
No, no.
As a child, my father talked about picking up dog poop, putting it in a bag and lighting it on fire on people's front stairs.
I've heard that one too. Yeah.
Yeah, really?
Gene. Mike.
Are there any plans for getting a tree company in with a bucket to take down some of those royal palm things that are hanging by a thread over the pool? By pool 4?
Not at present.
Okay.
We'll take a look.
Yeah,
We'll go
'cause
again.
some of them look a little dangerous. If they fall down and,
should have left it
You're
Yeah,
gonna
I've
alone.
be
got
more
one
than
over my
bait.
front sidewalk.
yeah. Yeah, they're widow makers.
Hold up.
Anybody else? Okay. Move to close.
Move to close.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Marv. Okay, meeting is adjourned. Any opposed? Thank you for coming. The organizational meeting will start in about 5 minutes.
Something. Hello? Jerry,
Yes.
just turned off. Hello?
Hello.
Jerry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Say something so I can see if I can hear you.
I can hear you.
About the rest of us, Dan.
Thank you.
I can hear who's on Zoom.
That's Jim Munson.
Yeah, I could hear you. I could hear her, Jerry. But for some reason, they weren't hearing Angela, so I don't know what happened.
They're not hearing anybody on their end.
Yeah,
Apparently they're trying to figure it out. I just texted Pam and she's over there trying to figure it out. Because I'm sure the owners wanted to know what's going on with security in the property.
yeah, I'm sure.
And I got
It's not your fault. We can hear you, but they can't
no,
hear.
it's not, no. I know. But for us to be cut off like that, instead of fixing the problem, they should have fixed the problem beginning.
Right.
Now we got Roger over there trying to figure things out.
Yeah, until they get the bugs worked out. I don't know how long
Yeah.
it's gonna take. Poor Chris, he had that place down pat.
Larry, I'm not muted
Heard you whispering.
anymore.
Do you guys know if we have pest control?
Yes, we do.
Oh, because he was saying something about rats in people's houses.
Well, what happens is if they don't, if you're gone for a long period of time from your unit, the water dries up in the stack pipe that goes into the toilet, and that dries up. That gives a highway for the citrus rats to make their way in. And what we've been doing in the past is asking people, if you're going to leave the unit for a long period of time, close the toilet seat down, stack books on top of it or some weight on top of the
Barry,
toilet.
can you hear
This
us
way they
now?
don't get in.
Yes.
Oh wow, thank you.
You're welcome.
What is citrus
Did you
rats?
say yes?
Well,
Yes.
the rats that hang out with the citrus trees,
Would you say a few?
they're a little smaller than your regular garbage rats. So
Jim Munson is talking, but yes,
Sorry.
I can hear you.
We can hear you from the Zoom meeting.
Roger? Roger? Roger?
Jim, can you hear me? This is Roger.
Roger, I can hear you. Can you hear me? I hear you through the mic. He can't hear me. Yeah, that's the thing. Citrus rats are smaller than sewer rats.
That's the right setting. The headphone.
Never heard of them.
Yeah.
To you, but the speakers on the
Well, I'm from Brooklyn. The rats that we used to have, you could put a saddle on them and ride them.
Same thing here. I'm in New Hampshire.
Oh, okay.
Once it quiets down.
So, do you think I should have like because I'm not going to be there. There's going to be times I'm not going to be there for a while. So, should I have like a pest control?
Oh, no, but they can't hear me.
Did you get it?
I wonder if they set it up that way.
Could be.
Bastards. That wouldn't surprise me at all, Mr. Butler.
All right, let me go. They're going to start now. You bet. Bye-bye.
Yeah, take the whole thing with you, Shannon. All right, I'd like to call the organizational meeting for Wildwood Springs for 2025 to order. Confirmation of proper notice.
Posted according to statutory requirements on February 28th.
Thank you. Okay, roll call we've done. Don't need it. Established a quorum. We have a quorum. Okay, we have a secret ballot for elections. We have Jim Munson, we have Bob Dell, and Leslie Jacobs. So Pam's handing out the ballots. You'll fill them in. We'll fold them, give them to Pam.
Please say, let me say without saying it, but only one vote, please. No two votes on there. The ballot will be invalidated. Okay. Just about three.
Okay, so we're supposed to do this now?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Yeah, take him away. Hungry.
We got 12. So we said. You got a green finger now. And a green thumb. We'll save those.
Okay, thank you for. All right, the ballots were counted by John and Pam. We have 10 votes for Leslie Jacobs, 2 votes for Jim Munson, 0 votes for Bob Dell. So Leslie Jacobs will be our new committee member. Our nation, have a chair. Oh, good. There you go. Well, our meeting's gonna be a lot longer now. Okay, welcome, Leslie. All right, next thing on the agenda is election of officers. Are you ready? One office at a time.
Start with Chris.
Usually, yes.
I think that Steve Abul has done such a great job. I want to. Abul. Can you pronounce it? I nominate Steve Abul. Buell. Anybody who can pronounce that is
I am gonna.
welcome to try.
You're here a second?
I would like to nominate Marv Howard for vice president. Okay.
Okay. Did I hear a second?
A second.
Sorry.
For me. All right.
Any opposed?
10 people,
Congratulations.
2.
I'm gonna give you the pronunciation correctly. Everybody ready? It's Abul. There you go. Okay. Yeah. That's Mariche. Mariche. There you go. Okay. Cookie?
Yes. I would like to nominate Marv. Hey, I need a drink. Marv Howard for vice president.
Okay, Marv Howard.
A second.
Second. Anybody opposed?
My wife.
Nope. Okay, Marv is accepted. I'd like to nominate Pam for secretary.
Oh, not
There.
again.
Flanagan.
A second.
Okay, thank you, Barbara. Anybody opposed? Okay, you're in.
You mean like
I nominate Barb Carey as treasurer.
I second it.
Any opposed? Okay.
Okay,
No, we're doing no.
there's
Oh,
your
we're going to the
officers.
meeting now.
Same old people.
Yeah.
Jeez.
He's out. I don't know.
Committee chairs. Okay.
10-2, and Bob Dell got 0 votes.
I
I don't know.
want to, I'll reappoint Tom Pensick for Budget Committee. No. Pete Farron for now, although Pete will be leaving Wildwood shortly. We're sorry to hear that, but I'll be appointing another, but for now, Pete Farron is still in the Landscaping Committee chair.
They can't hear anything anybody wanted to hear.
Very good, thank you.
So turn it down. They can't hear me.
Very good. Okay.
I do know that.
Security, Jim Munson will remain for now. Cluster advisor, Karen Banker will remain. IT for now is going to stay with the joint until their next meeting, which I will attend. And if we have a volunteer, then that'll be official then. Social Committee, Cynthia Ingram will remain. Pool, of course, Tammy, very good job she does. I'm going to assign to a new committee, a Rules Committee. Going to be Walter Boyd out here in the audience to be our chairman of the Rules Committee. Thank you. Newsletter, of course, Barbara will stay. Buildings, I'll stay. Who am I missing, Pam? Grounds, social. Tennis committee, be Marv. Pickleball. Marv and I work together on the pickleball tennis
We're
committee.
the quiets.
Yeah. On employee relations is still Cheryl Munson. So those are your committee chairs.
I move we adjourn.
Cheryl Munson.
Second, John West. Very good. We are adjourned on the organizational meeting. In just a couple minutes, we'll go right into the regular monthly board meeting. Put to order. All right. Board meeting for Wildwood Springs, March 2025. Call to order. Confirmation of proper notice.
Notice posted according to statutory requirement.
Roll call we don't need. We've had. Thank you.
We do have one addition though.
We do have one addition on the roll call, and that's Leslie Jacobs now. You do such a good job. Put her in there. This should go real quick. President's comments, I've got nothing. I gave my report. Review of the minutes last month. Do I hear a motion to approve them? Anybody have any questions about them?
Motion to approve.
Anybody opposed? Nope. Okay, so be it. Minutes are approved. You need to add anything, Barbara, to the financials?
So as of the end of February, our income is above budget due to the recent operating CDs that matured. So that's gravy for us. On the expense side, We're also below budget. The continuing lower than expected insurance premium from March 2024. And I am suppose we'll continue to see an underrun in the insurance expense throughout the year because our new policy is also under budget. So that will be good news. The rest of it is timing differences on the timing of tree trimming, fertilizer and mulch, and water and natural gas usage. The budget system that our accountants produce, they take our budget and they spread it evenly over the 12 months, even though our actuals come in based on snowbird season. So there's so we see a lot of timing differences throughout the year until we get to the end of the year. Our CD report. We still have $1,560,000 invested in reserve funds and CDs, and we have zero on the operating CDs because we matured them in anticipation of paying or paid. We just paid the insurance bill. So we'll see as the year progresses, as we start to accumulate funds towards next March 2026, we probably have an opportunity to start investing again in an operating CD or two as the year progresses. To date, for the first 2 months of 2025, we've earned $9,607 in our brokered CDs with Edward Jones.
Very good, thank you. And financially, because we only had to write a check for 842,000, I think we have are back in surplus after we spent all that money on the tree removal. So that's a good thing. All right, next item, accounts receivable.
Accounts receivable, as of the 28th of February, includes 6 unit owners owing between 500 and 1/4. A very high number for this time of year for us. Units that owe 1/4 is 23. Subsequently, many of those have paid, but the collections have been a little slower than they have in the past 2 or 3 years. I don't know if that's a reflection of the economy or not, but it is high. 1 unit owes 2/4. Letters have been sent to all the owners that owe, and that seemed to bring in some of the monies that I would say now that there's only maybe 4 units that owe 1/4, but it still is, and everybody's had to pay, of course, the $25 late fee. And finally, the 2 units are with the attorney for foreclosure possibilities, 762 again, and unit 422. Yes.
I might have missed it. On your manager's report, it says units that have been sent collection letters, 169.
It's a misprint. It's 16. Yeah, and I meant to say that. Sorry. Marvin asked the same question, and he said it thought it was a little high. Yeah. Yeah. You know, when I first came here, we had 48 units abandoned or under foreclosure. It was really something back in those days. Yep.
Okay. That it for?
That's it. Yep.
Okay. Old business, second floor entry.
Okay, original contractor Rapasi has redone unit 175 by removing the substance that caused the problems and putting that back to standard, to the unit owner's standards. I'm asking Tiffany again. I've asked her. He promised me this week. Has he talked to you? All right. He promised me this week. All right. So you should be next. Building committee will discuss the determination on how to finish the rest of the issues at its meeting.
Okay, electrical.
Okay, we had 3 electrical ground straps out there. 2 units still have them. date follows. October 11th is Unit 737, and Unit 606 is I'm sorry, Oakview. The 707 Oakview will be March 11th, and the 606 Woodlawn Drive will be March 18th. Yeah, well, that'll be then. And the temporary ground strap at 138 has already been replaced.
Okay. Drainage issues on the lake.
Okay, pickleball thing is that here again, the project will start around the 1st of May.
Generator rules estimate
Well, we
established. Yeah, we've already been over that. Okay.
Tree.
Termite issues.
So you're ahead of us. I think we haven't got the tree report. Oh, I see. Yeah, it's under the manager's report, but not on the agenda. Okay. Yeah, you're right. All right, where are you? Drainage south issue of the lake. We're awaiting a proposal from Flowtech to finish putting a mini catch basin, I guess is the best word, to help drain the lake into the pipes that have now been cleared. Expect it tomorrow, by the way, the price.
Very good. Okay. Generators, we don't pass on
Yeah.
that. Termites.
Okay, here again, termites, we have drywood termites in 3 different buildings. We have 3 quotes to tent the buildings. It's been brought to our attention that there's a company that does the work without tenting. They do have to go into each unit and do certain things. So the building committee is going to meet with the contractor who provides the non-tenting process to see if it's applicable to us. If it is, the prices are slightly different, maybe a couple $1,000s per project, but the relocation of owners and expensive hotels and everything else would make it economically better if we don't have to tent, but we're not sure we can yet. So that'll be determined at the meeting. Well, we had a timeline for the unit in the lakeside for the last week in March, but we're holding off on that pending this discussion with the building committee.
That'll be just next week. If any of the board wants to join the building committee meeting, we can.
Anybody, obviously, everybody's welcome to the committee meeting, and it will be the 17th, a week from St. Patty's Day, before any drinking starts.
Okay.
For some.
Ooh. All right. New business, communications.
Communication, a letter was sent to Bill Greener, owner of 270, regarding the leaking of one of their showers down to the unit below. There has been no response, and I intend to make a personal request of him tomorrow. Pardon? Yes. Oh, yeah. The feedback is that while we know for a fact he did not go and pick up the registered letter, but the feedback was that he never got it. But by statute, we're allowed to send a regular letter and a certified letter, so he got it. Pardon? I can't hear you. We don't have a microphone.
What's the owner's position on it, on everything?
Well, the position would be if he does not come, we're allowed to go in there and make the report and make the repairs and bill him.
Okay.
Obviously, all right. Previously, notices have been sent to the owner of 107 regarding letting her cats roam on on the condominium property. She's continuing not to follow the pet rules, and I believe a fine for the non-compliance is in order. And my request would be that we fine her at least $100 per occurrence because she's not trying to abate this at all.
Okay. Do I hear a motion?
I move that we initiate the fines.
Anybody opposed? Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. Okay, we don't beat the insurance to death. We're happy and we've paid the bill, so we'll skip that part of it. General items, all missing gutters and downspouts have been replaced. I've given a lot of compliments about the workmanship of they come out, they were innovative, and they actually showed us a couple things while they did it that helped us in repairs. And of course, they used all the latest type of fasteners, so it turned out to be well. You earlier talked about the courtyard fences. That was said, everything in Pinehurst, Shorewood, Springdale, and Oak Villages have been repaired, and we're about halfway through Palm Tree. All metal. Yeah. Good news. All metal carport ceiling materials are being removed. So far, Pinehurst, Shorewood, and Springdale carports are completely removed. They're now working in Palm Tree. So when we finish the project, there will be no more dangling ceiling panels for sure. So far, the thought process is they don't look too bad. Everybody has been somewhat complimentary about the removal. So we'll see what happens as far as wanting to paint them in the future. The 2024 audit is underway. Our office has provided the auditor with everything he's required, and including the signed letters to the attorney and to the bank that they're allowed to go and talk to them on our behalf to verify if there are any suits or anything like that going on. I presume in the next 20, 30 days that it'll be complete. Proposals for the painting of the buildings are being sought. You referred to that earlier. Yeah. Also, bids for reconstruction of the wall at 313 are being sought. That's the one that's the Leaning Tower of Pisa from the windstorm. We also have a wall, I think it's a 646 that the tree's growing into, and I've had the contractors look at that one too. The owner's going to have to be responsible for removing the tree and then the wall to be fixed. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, has he been notified that he needs to get that out of there?
Yeah. And if finally, next to finally, March has arrived and we're resuming planting and sod replacement, as Pete previously alluded to. Okay. And finally, the number of service requests received since the last meeting was 348. We're getting a lot of service calls, and it's good and appreciate it. And we're trying to get them as quick as possible.
Okay, thank you, John. Committee reports.
Can I just interject? There was another piece of paper in the board. It's an email from an owner.
Oh, yes. That's under the, yeah.
Is that on what?
No, I was remiss, Barbara. Thank you for doing that.
Is that under new business?
That can go anywhere you want it. We can do it right now.
Okay.
There's, because I included it on it, so it should have really come under communication, so I just didn't include it. The owner of 509 Sharon Vansel had car damage from the ceiling panels. She contends the damage repair in her car was let's see, so she wants the $500 deductible that she had to pay to have her car painted. She also wants $985.38 for car rental while her car was away. I formally bring it to you because everyone else has asked the same question, and the board has referred them to their insurance company, and rightfully so. But this was a written request that I have to bring to you. So the formal is to keep the same process that we have, saying it's your insurance vehicle. Yes.
Should be. She owns the carport. Yeah. Everybody else has, done that. I don't know, what do you need, a motion to?
You can since she made the request, you can formally deny saying that it's her. Yeah.
I would say we deny it. Anybody say anything different?
Follow previous procedure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Follow previous procedure.
And that is, who makes that previous procedure motion? John, did you start?
I move that we go back to our rules and regulations and we deny this request.
Second? Second. Shannon? Anybody opposed to that? On the board? Nope. Okay. So be it. Okay.
Okay, now that's it. Thank you, Barbara, again.
Committee reports.
We already did.
I know we already did them, but is director's comments? Start down to that. Dan, John, Tiff, Gus, Marv.
Go ahead. Keep going.
Me. No. Good. I did. There you go. Come on, Barbara.
So I'd like to make a suggestion. So Woodlawn, which I represent, is always last on the lawn mowing list. So maybe half the year they could start at Woodlawn and work their way front.
I agree. We try to do all of our projects in reverse, but I did not realize the guys were actually going one way on the lawn cutting, because we do want to go back and forth. One time we start on Woodlawn, one time we start on Pine Vias, but I'll go ahead and make sure we do it. You're welcome.
All right, Cookie, anything? Leslie.
Yes, I'm so delighted to be back. Thank you.
Thank you. We're glad to have you. All right. No, owners' comments. Anybody out here that didn't speak up last time? Come on, Bob. What do you need?
I'm just curious what Spectrum's responsibility on the internet cables. Ever since the project of the oak tree and the wall removal and redoing 141, mine's been cut about 4 times and it's still laying all exposed back behind there.
Let me handle that. Okay, it's their responsibility to bury it. We certainly have had, if it didn't have those, I didn't realize you were cut that often.
Yeah, got a lot.
Well, I'll make sure it's taken care of.
Anyone else?
Speaking of Spectrum, behind unit 216 in the corner, one of those boxes with all this cables is, the top is off and it's just open.
Okay. We'll take care of that too.
Okay. Anything else? No? All good?
Wait,
No.
don't forget the spring fling and bring a lot of money.
That's right. It'd be March 22nd at, was it 3 o'clock, 3:30?
3
o'clock.
22nd. Hope to see everybody there. All right, next meeting.
Can I?
Go ahead, Jerry.
It seems that behind cluster T, speaking of not getting things first, we don't seem to get any mulch. Larry and I seem to buy our own to cover the back. We haven't gotten any in years. And we're the way back. Is there a way when the mulch season comes around that they can start and get some to this area?
If I may address that for Peter.
Yeah.
The budget is $15,000 and that barely covers the common area and the fronts. So
Okay.
historically, there haven't been planned to do the back. Maybe that can change or be changed, but we haven't done back. You are correct, in 4 years.
Okay, no problem. We can do our own, but I just wanted to find out. Thank
Sure.
you. Yep.
Okay, now, is that everybody? Okay.
Oh, no, no.
No, we're in the next meeting. Got dates for me, Marv?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I didn't look. Be the regular dates. It'd be the second Tuesday and the,
Shop will be on the 8th and meeting will be 14th.
third.
Okay.
It's gonna be the 21st, Steve.
Yeah, it'll be the 8th and the 14th.
No, 8th and the 21st.
Hmm?
8th and the 21st.
Oh, we skipped a week?
No, it's the third Monday.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
all right, yeah, I see.
It's one of those
One
months of the
those
year
months,
that's,
yeah.
yeah.
So it'll be the 8th and then the 21st. Right. Set. Now.
I move to adjourn.
Thank you, Marv. Second? Second, Gus? Any opposed? We are hereby adjourned. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you all. Thanks for coming.